The flutter begins. Melissa Ordway never intended to become an actress. At least, not in the traditional sense. Her dreams, as a little girl growing up in Atlanta, Georgia, were painted in soft pastels: children's books, ballet slippers, and a cozy bookstore she would one day own. But life had other plans, and those plans began, oddly enough, with a butterfly. It wasn't a real butterfly, not at first. It was a metaphor, an idea she encountered in a philosophy class during her second year at Georgia State University. The professor, a wiry-haired man with a penchant for quoting chaos theorists, scribbled 3 words on the board: the butterfly effect. Something as small as the flap of a butterfly's wings, he said, can ultimately cause a tornado halfway around the world. Melissa had written those words in the margin of her notebook and underlined them 3 times. She didn't know why, but they stayed with her. Long after she left class, long after she closed the notebook, they followed her, those wings. Reality calls. The decision to audition for MTV's The Assistant was impulsive, even laughable. Melissa's roommate, Tara, had dared her to go. "Come on," she said between bites of pizza. "You have the smile of a cover girl and the sarcasm of a sitcom mom." Melissa rolled her eyes but opened her laptop. A small action like a butterfly, flapping its wings. She clicked submit on the audition form. She almost forgot she applied until the callback came. A month later, she was in Los Angeles, her southern drawl clashing with West Coast hustle, and to her own disbelief she won. The show, the job, the car, the move, everything shifted. One moment she was a student studying journalism. The next, she was on billboards and in casting rooms. Casting shadows. The move to LA was both everything she wanted and nothing like she expected. Doors opened, yes, but so did some. The first few auditions were brutal rooms filled with women who looked like dreams sculpted in Malibu, dressed in ambition and wielding resumes like weapons. Melissa's break came when she landed small guest roles: privileged, 90,210, Melrose Place. But it was her casting as Abby Newman on The Young and the Restless in 2013 that felt like stepping into something bigger than herself. Just a soap, some people said, but for Melissa, it was an ecosystem of emotion, of storytelling, of truth. And it all started because she clicked on a casting link while eating pizza. A personal storm years later. The butterfly effect took another turn, not in her career, but in her personal life. She and her husband, Justin Gaston, wanted children. They prayed, hoped, tried and faced heartbreak. Miscarriages were never just physical losses. They tore through the fabric of her optimism like storms. But in those quiet, broken moments, something else began to form: empathy. When The Young and the Restless offered her a storyline about fertility struggles, Melissa found herself living a mirror of her real life. Art imitating life, she once said in an interview. But it was more than that. It was healing. She poured her pain into Abby, offering silent strength to the millions watching, who also carried invisible